Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to TVU's presentation of a webinar on remote production entitled How to Bring the Studio to Your Home. We really appreciate everyone participating and the great participation we have in this webinar, and we really look forward to the time that we're going to have together to be able to go through what we believe is a very important topic at this point in time, especially with the need to produce content from home and to be able to bring information to your audiences reliably and with great ease of use. We've seen significant demand throughout the COVID-19 pandemic for the need to really be able to produce content from home, to have anchors that are able to operate as if they were in the facility from their home offices. And this is going to be the first webinar in a series of webinars where we're going to go into greater and greater detail about the functionality and the workflows and the solutions that TVU has in the space of remote production for at-home news environments, sports environments, houses of worship, and corporate environments as well. So we look forward to this time going through this solution with you. And with that, Curtis, I'd ask, let me introduce kind of our panelists today. My name is Jared Timmins. I am the SVP of Global Solutions for TVU Networks. And I have with me Curtis Stanley, who is a Director of Solutions for TVU Networks. Curtis, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Curtis. Could you move to the next slide, please?
Absolutely. Oh, there we go.
Thank you. So a little bit about the TVU Networks Platform. TVU has been working for many years to build out what we believe is one of the most comprehensive and flexible media supply chains that is enabling new workflows across this next generation of demand that we're seeing. We have built a suite of solutions and products that are building an end-to-end factory, all the way from live video acquisition to at-home remote production, cloud production, distribution both into your broadcast environment and into social media syndication elements, and a comprehensive control and management element across the entire ecosystem. We really believe that the next generation of media supply chains have to be data-driven. And so we've put a lot of work and a lot of thought into making sure that we are utilizing not only the content, but the data about that content in a way that makes the production as seamless, as flexible, and as easy to use as possible. Curtis, if you could go to the next slide. So one of the elements of focus today is live video acquisition. And we have multiple tools that enable that and have been providing that capability for non-localized video acquisition for many, many years, 15 years. And we've been doing that with our packs. And today we're going to be showing you the capability of our user-generated content platform, TVU Anywhere, to be able to allow at-home anchors, interviewers, or even citizen journalists or the average user to be able to take their Android device or their iOS device, open up the TVU Anywhere app, and quickly connect into a cloud production environment that enables frame-accurate and robust broadcast quality production. Curtis, if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide, please. So a little bit about TVU Anywhere. We've seen just incredible demand and a need for our customers to be able to broadcast from home. We have done broadcasts with TVU Anywhere all over the world. Those broadcasts include multiple sporting events, multiple sports shows with interviews, a lot of activity around news production and local news production at home, and the ability to allow anyone to really quickly go to air through our tool set. We've even seen a lot of applications in concerts and in the entertainment space, as well as being able to bring just general users into the interview space and into the broadcast environment. We've also seen a lot of applications in houses of worship and corporate communications. Curtis, if you could go to the next slide, please. What we'll be focusing on today is anchoring at home workflows. And so we've built a system kind of synthesizing both the talent's perspective of anchoring at home, as well as the operation of how a producer would do that, being located several hundred miles apart. In this demo, I'm in North Georgia, and Curtis, who's acting as our operator, is in South Florida. So we're about 600-700 miles apart. And what we've built is a demonstration of how you can easily take TVU Anywhere, connect into our cloud-based production environment, and go to air, as well as all the other tools that TVU provides, so that the talent at home is able to continue to broadcast as if they were in the studio. So Curtis, could you move to the demonstration platform? You can see here, this is our TVU producer interface. We've got a couple of sources set up. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you, and you can kind of see in source 3, we have video of the operational space, the talent space that I'll be using to demonstrate how you can anchor from home using our technology. And all I'm going to do is open the TVU Anywhere app. And I'm going to scan the QR code that Curtis has put on the screen. That's going to activate my device. And as you can see in input 4, I'm now broadcasting live from my home studio with TVU Anywhere. And it takes just a matter of seconds to set that up. And it's a very easy, intuitive process that anyone can really pick up the app and get directly streaming on air in a matter of minutes. So Curtis, if you could go back to the presentation, please.
Absolutely.
The other main component in the media factory that we're demonstrating is the ability to do production from anywhere in the cloud. And we have several tool sets that enable that. And one of the things that we've really focused our development efforts on is ensuring that we are providing broadcast quality, professional production in the cloud. And in order to do that, it took a lot of specialized work and patents to ensure that we had frame accuracy and that the experience of the operator while they were utilizing TVU Producer was completely in sync and intuitive. And one of the things that's the hardest thing for a lot of cloud production solutions to overcome is that delay that's inherent in the cloud. And so by utilizing proprietary TVU technology, we've been able to make that operational look and feel seamless. So when you press the button to switch, it switches frame accurate every time. So Curtis, if you go to the next slide. So again, one of the things that we're going to demonstrate is just the versatility of TVU Producer. And we've seen, again, that used for esports operation, houses of worship, corporate communication, marathons. The flexibility of the solution really lends itself to any operator being able to take to the solution very easily and be up and running in a matter of minutes. Curtis, if you go to the next slide. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the demonstration over to Curtis, and Curtis is going to walk you through the features, the functionality, and the capability of TVU Producer, and he can show you the operational environment.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. As you guys can see, this is TVU Producer. One of the things I want to start with, if we look here at input source 2, which is Jared's home studio setup. Right now, we are rolling prompter from my office, and you can see it rolling on his screen. We're using a TVU product called Overwatch. You can see audio meters on the left-hand side for audio deflection, good levels and whatnot, and other TVU things. You can check the status of your receivers and whatnot using all of these components. He has a phone, which is our source 3 on his desk there, and he's giving you a widescreen shot from his iPad, which is over his shoulder. So the TVU home remote production facility from home is a nice tool, and everyone should be aware of it. And if you need any help or have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to our support team at our website, and they can put you in touch with me or one of the sales guys in the region, and we can all help make that happen for you. As we proceed here, we're going to take a look at our UI itself. It's a standard production switcher. We have program and preview. Preview on the left, program on the right, green and red, standard colors used in controlling environments throughout the world. Currently, we have 4 inputs that are TVU Anywhere device capable, inputs 1 through 4. They also have different types of inputs available. as you guys remember earlier, we paired Jared's phone in source 3 by using the QR code. Source 4 here, we can change, it's simply just by changing the source. It allows us to bring up any type of source, anything that we've already paired or has paired in our command center account, any grid streams or grid sources that we are paired with in our command center account. You just click on it, click to add source, and it will appear inside of Producer. In this case right now, source 4 is the Louisiana Governor's feed, which is on a grid pool feed for the state of Louisiana. We're very proud of our grid pool product here in this right now. Source 5 is video input files. You have the capability of loading input videos, that will play from frame 1 when loaded into Producer. You can take a myriad of types. Right now I have MPEG-4 files loaded. It will do transport streams and other types, standard broadcast streams as well. Source 5 is an IP stream input source. Right now I have an RTMP stream being brought in just so that we can see how well we decode RTMP streams. I'll move that up into preview right now. And source 7 is dual box, double box, or quad box. By simply changing source, I can either go into a double box or a quad box view here with and simply change it. I select it. You can see it brought up the, oops, I was slow with my click. There we go. Click next, and it should bring up my sources. It's possible. There we go. Sorry about that. My computer's acting a little funky right now. So we're going to do a quad box, and we're going to just put 4 sources in there as we do this. We'll give it just a little bit of time. We're going to mix them up so there's no rhyme or reason. Source 5. Notice it went green. Click add to source. And if you look down here now, I have in my program and preview boxes, I have a quad box with mixed audio from all of the sources. So that is the UI overlay in itself and how it actually works. It's just like any standard switcher or any standard production switcher in existence. As we move over to outputs here, TVU Producer has the capability of sending a myriad, multiple output types. TVU Grid is our grid point-to-point, multi-point distribution solution. In this case, I can click here and click edit. I can select my grid parameters. Standard bit rate for all of our grid streams is slightly over 8 megabits. Click save and go live. Now what will happen here momentarily, you can see it's thinking. My output's going to go red here in just a moment. There we go. And if I click on the icon here, here's my ISSP stream, my URL. It's been copied to the notepad or clipboard on your computer. You can bring it in as an external stream on any of your grid-enabled transceivers as an external source and have an SDI native output. Let's go ahead and stop that. Oops. We'll end the live. As far as social medias, I have a predetermined channel that I send to YouTube for testing purposes. We won't do that during this demo. But as we go here, you can see we support YouTube, Facebook, Yasibo, Periscope, Twitch, and other. Other is any standard file format type, RTMP, UDP, normal standard transmission protocols. You can vary the resolution, stream name, vary the bit rate. So it's very user-friendly. And we'll move past we shall move past, here we go, into record now. We can record our clips. We can record our program output in a myriad of formats. We can auto set it. We can set it to auto record when you're streaming to a destination. We can vary the bit rate for our recordings simply by clicking start record. And I will show you where those clips will be later in the demo. Overlay, we have the ability to do native logos. Simply upload a logo by clicking add, and it will bring up a Windows box. So wherever your logo is located, you can just upload it from there. Simply to bring it on air, simply highlight it. You can see it's in program right now, and a simple overlay cut. And it's on air. You turn it off, you take it off air, uncheck it. Notice it's gone out of preview, overlay cut, and it's gone. We also have a very nice integration with Singular Live. In this case, Singular Live is a cloud-based graphics system. We have the ability to work with their control parameters, Studio or Spark, and we also have the ability to, our producer has the ability to do real-time rendering engines. So you can take a URL from Singular or some other third-party graphical interfaces and bring them in for adding to your show. So we'll start with a full screen. As you can see, it's as simple as bringing it in and an overlay cut. There we go. And if I turn it off, I'm going to check the box. I overlay cut again, and away it goes. Left panel, right panel. Oh, let me bring up Jared's home. Oops. Uh-oh. I just accidentally, in the demo, I accidentally killed Jared's source. But you fret not. What we can do is we can go back to Anywhere. We'll see Jared's iPad here momentarily. He may have to close the application for us and relaunch it. If that's the case, it's not a big deal. Jared, if you can do that for me.
I think
we'll watch
Curtis.
Hmm?
Can you exit out and see? Because it doesn't back live on my iPad.
Okay. There we go. Yep. All you had to do was click live. So they can click live, or you can go in there, and if it's green, all you have to do is click it and you're back on air. So what we were going to do is we were going to bring up Jared's home network or home studio again. And this is outside Jared's house. And notice Jared's huge monitor. I pre-built this for a little bit of fun. So now we're going to turn that on and overlay cut, and it goes away. As you can see, we've got lower thirds. We've got single line. We've got a breaking news banner. These are just some pre-produced, pre-built templates from our friends at Singular that we have the ability to use. And a baseline. So TVU Network, let's talk TVU Producer. So we're very happy with our integration with Singular Live. As you can see on Jared's computer there, we have an audio mixer that is very, very soon to be implemented in Producer. It will make what I'm about to show you even easier. Our normal method is audio follows video. So whatever the program source is, the audio for that program source will follow it. If you need to do something different, in the case of, we're looking at the skyline here in source 1. So if I have that on air, but I want Jared's audio, we can take either source 2 or source 3. Right now we've got source 2 selected. And so this would be Jared's audio going out over the New York skyline or that particular source. So it gives you the ability to differentiate and separate your audio sources. It's a nice feature to have. But like I said, normal operation is audio follows video, and it makes life really easy for the user. Finally, TBU Intercom. What TBU Intercom is it opens a voice over IP channel with the person or persons that you are live with. TVU Anywhere. I could simply click the phone here, and it will open up. As you can see in source 2, that's OXBA34. It'll open up a voice over IP connection with that phone, so that whoever, myself or whoever's running Producer, can talk directly with that talent or that camera operator if they're holding the phone or they're behind the set for the person. It's a very nice feature to have, and we're very happy with it. The last thing I will show you as we get out of here is this is the, you notice I clicked the default program. This is where you will get your recorded files. Click on the Management Center. Recorded files are here. You can download them to your computer, and do things with them. Do whatever you need to do with them. And producer does not stop. You simply go back into it, the instance will start, and you'll see it here momentarily reload. And there's all of my sources back. So I would like to thank you for the time and the attention, and hope that we here at TVU Networks can provide you with the solutions that you need, and are very proud of our TVU producer product, and look forward to working with you in the future. Jared?
Thanks, Curtis. Before we move on to questions, could you go back again from into the workbench?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
I think it is worth noting maybe to talk to customers about how you can have multiple configurations for various different producer utilizations. So if you're setting up a specific show, you can set that show up, have a configuration for that show, and that can be saved so that you can recall those settings very easily. Maybe you can show it.
That is an excellent point. I can create a show here, noon, newscast, next. And then I can set it grid, whatever features I need. My location, this will help, and then click save. And it should create a new newscast for me, and it will save those parameters, as Jared mentioned, your sources, video files, and things as such. Nice ad there, Jared. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Curtis. Appreciate it. So one of the things that that we've done here at TVU is we've offered up free access for TVU Producer and TVU Anywhere through May 31st. And as a participant in this webinar, we will be providing links, and we will be sending out an email to all of you that you'll be able to access a free trial period inside of TVU Producer and TVU Anywhere. And our service and support staff stand ready and able to help with any kind of configuration, questions, or utilization cases that we may be able to provide assistance on. And so with that, I will we'll go ahead and open it up for questions and show a little bit more of the capabilities of TVU Anywhere and TVU Producer. So if you could, VJ and Matt, if you could unmute.
Yeah, I'm online. Yep.
Hey, Matt. So I have with me Matt and VJ. Matt runs all product management for us at TVU, and VJ is the product manager leading the development for Producer. So one of the questions coming in, and we have a significant amount of them, but one of the questions coming in is what is the latency inside of Producer? Matt, would you like to take that question?
Yeah, sure. So, the latency on the system really kind of depends a little bit on the network conditions, but in general, most transmissions that come in are less than 2 seconds. Sometimes they can be sub-second. But one of the important things to note is, as you mentioned, if you're using like multiple TVU packs or multiple TVU Anywhere devices and they're transmitting to Producer, they're all going to be arriving synchronized in the Producer interface. So even though there's some latency in the transmission, anything you see in the Producer interface, you can switch between those sources, and they're going to be frame accurate when you switch between them. So that's the important thing to mention. And then, of course, there's some delay in the output, the encoding output, and then delivery to the CDN. So, but in general, from the field to the Producer instance itself, it's less than 2 seconds and sometimes sub-second.
Excellent. A question about TVU Anywhere. What microphone recommendations would you have for cell phone use for TVU Anywhere audio capture?
Yeah, I mean, obviously by default, you can use just the standard microphone on, an iOS or Android phone. But we've used a whole selection of different microphones wired on TVU Anywhere. So personally, I've tested mics from Shure, Rode, Audio Technica. These are little lavalier microphones that plug in using a little mini adapter. I've used a tip ring sleeve adapter that plugs into the lightning adapter on an iOS device. On Android phones, sometimes you can just plug in an analog microphone. So we've used lots of different types, and our customers have also used many. The other thing that's nice too is that the TVU Anywhere has VoIP as well, so that the person who's operating or switching the program can talk to those people in the field. And there's a number of adapters that, even to an iOS device, have a analog mic input and a analog headphone output, which makes it pretty good.
Great, thank you, Matt. VJ, there's a bunch of questions about stream support, both as an ingest point and as a syndication point out of Producer. Can you walk us through the capabilities of Producer for both ingesting streams and outputting streams?
Yeah, certainly. On the ingest front, we basically support essentially all the standard protocols, not really proprietary. For example, we support certainly RTMP, RTMPS, our own ISSP protocol, RTSP, HLS, obviously HTTP and HTTPS. On the other hand, let's talk about the output side. On the output side, we certainly support RTMP, RTP. We recently supported RTP. We essentially support all those standard transport protocols, which will allow our customers to take their transport, the producer output stream into their cloud services or cloud workflow. So we are pretty open on that front, and we have the agility to add, new transport protocols based on the needs of our customers.
Excellent. Another question, and maybe Curtis, if you could go back to the user interface for a second.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another question that's been asked several times is, how do we handle audio for each individual stream? And then how specifically is that the audio levels set for those individual inputs, as well as for the combined input in input 7?
So, would you like me to answer that, or
sure,
Matt,
Curtis,
or VJ? Sure. So in our audio follows video is our normal operating method. And so the audio follows the primary video source. However, like I said, if you need audio from a specific source, you can go to that singular source and pick that audio. I will defer. Sorry. Our CEO Paul Shin would like to interject here and answer that question. I will leave the UI up, but I will defer to Paul if our moderator can activate Paul's microphone.
While we wait for Paul to join, we have a couple of questions about the financial model of TVU Producer, and I will put that question to VJ.
Okay.
VJ, is this a subscription service? Is the question, and how do we factor the pricing in from a utilization standpoint?
Yeah, certainly. I think it is definitely a subscription-based model. We are totally, based on usage-based pricing. Necessarily, we have introduced 4 tiers of different plans recently, and each tiered, plan has a very kind of low entry fee, but essentially based on the features, we progressively add, more features as you move from basic to standard to pro and enterprise. So the essential pricing is based on the cloud storage that is allotted, the number of streams, they can stream at any point of time, all at the same time. And we also have now ability to do video conferencing. So all these, capabilities have their own kind of usage models, and based on that, essentially our model is usage based and it is per hour. And I think certainly it meets all the essential ingredients of a professional IP broadcast production.
Thank you, Vijay. Hi, everyone. This is Paul. So let me answer multiple questions on this. Let's start, follow up what Vijay just said. Yes, large part is, usage-based. The basic model is subscription, but user can subscribe and cancel anytime they want. So some of the questions, can we use this for one-off use? Yes, it's equivalent like that, because monthly subscription, it's a very low amount, and if you use once and you cancel it, and there's no obligation for continued subscription. Second, go back to the audio. TVU audio and the video are on complete separate control panel effectively. So you can route each of them independently. And so you have a full flexibility, which audio you want to use, how you mix the audio together independent of the video. And one of the important parts, what we do the inside is we ensure through the entire process inside, audio, video is always perfectly in sync. That's what matters, and but each of them can be complete independently managed, switch, produced. Another question regarding people continue asking for latency, like earlier when we talked about the latency. Most of the concept that people have, just like when you show this demo, you see some latency out of the Ring Central. Over the cloud, there's always latency. But what we have achieved is zero latency from production perspective. What does that mean is you have multiple sources coming in, regardless where the source comes from, whether it's TV equipment or a RTMP, a web streaming source, or a file, any of the source. As long as you want to switch, just like you're using a physical switch, you saw that frame, you want to switch on that frame, it will accurately switch on that frame with zero latency. That's why people always asking the question is, what's your latency? Yeah, on the, from the output perspective, always this is latency, because when you're streaming, you go to the CDN, you reach the audiences. Even today, TV station, you broadcast on air, latency is few seconds. But on the production perspective, it's zero latency. That's what's the most important. We walk away from it. And that's what TVU produced the most important technology behind it. What we have put many years, a lot of technology development behind it, is to ensure when you do a switch, it's switched accurately on that frame you intended. And we talked with one of the producers. The producer was telling us, if I hit the switch button and your execution is a few seconds later, if it's a soccer game, you miss a goal. And if it's a boxing, you saw the people fall down, but you miss the punch. Which my joke is, you as well have few monkey jump on the keyboard and let them do the switch, because you never can accurately predict where the switch will happen. But what TV produces, the critical piece, is when you intend to switch on that frame, that switch on that frame. And the same as the audio. And one of the questions is about audio. If you turn off the audio, what's the delay? Zero. When you say, turn off that audio at this minute, it turns off at this minute, or at this second. It's instantly. And that's where the latency overall, regardless whether it's a video, it's audio, even the data, graphics, which is the data. You can put the graphics up on that frame, it will graphics come up on that frame. So this is the most important, what TV producer has been able to deliver to the market, is reproduce what the experience you have with a physical switch. Yes, cloud is great, but if you reproduce what you can experience you have on the physical switch, namely what you intend to do, execute on the instances, then this is a product most of the people wouldn't be able to use effectively.
Very good. Thank you, Paul. A couple of other questions about the ability to bring in files into TVU Producer, and maybe VJ can answer this question. What's the maximum size of local video uploaded into the TVU Producer per video instance, per file?
Yeah, technically, right now, I mean, even though we have put a 300 meg limit, technically, we allow them, based on their needs, we allow them to upload any size of the audio video file without any issues. So that limit is just to make sure that the local video files is essentially only used for some tickering and all those initial setup of the live workflow. But in terms of number of files, there is not going to be any limit to number of video files. And even in terms of the size of the files, we can essentially, based on your workflow, we will allow you to upload any size of the video file.
Excellent. And then VJ, one more question for you of outputting an HLS stream to AWS. I know we've had some experience with this, but maybe you talk about the ability to share those streams inside of AWS as a workflow.
Yeah. So is your question on supporting basically the HLS output, right, from our producer and taking it into the Amazon workflow, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay, so as Jared was initially pointing out, that when you're done producing your show, right, now you want to take the producer output to any kind of workflows. We certainly support HTTP streaming protocols, all the essentially the IP streaming protocols, and a lot of our customers technically take output from an using an HLS stream and take it into their elemental Amazon workflow. We have supported that, and we have some customers who want to take an RTP plus FEC output into their cloud workflow. So we have supported it. So we are constantly innovating and refining the transport protocols we support on our output side, so that it fits into their desired workflow. So essentially, we support all the standard protocols. We avoid supporting any proprietary protocols. Essentially, I think we are constantly watching out what the broadcasting industry needs are and constantly updating that on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I think the one thing I would add is that NDI support has come up as a question as well, and that is something we do support. So that looks like the final questions that we have. I'd like to just make a couple more statements about the overall ecosystem that these products fall into, with the ability of TVU Anywhere to take user-generated content from the field on any mobile device, and the ability of Producer to bring that content as well as broadcast quality content into the production environment. It really has enabled us to open up so many different workflows for various verticals across our customer sets, as well as all of that element all of the elements inside of TVU Producer are able to output to various syndication points, as well as to TVU Grid and TVU Media Mind, where we can utilize our AI-based closed captioning engine, as well as the ability to search and find that content. So TVU Anywhere and TVU Producer are just pieces and part of an entire media factory that we're creating to allow customers from anywhere in the world to collaborate, to bring in content from any imaginable source, and to be able to produce that content in a very reliable and professional way, so that we can provide the chance for our customers to experiment with new workflows and to find out how to utilize the cloud in a way that enables them to do what they wouldn't be able to do in predicaments like COVID-19. And I'll just mention, as a question came in, that this will be recorded. We will share this recording with everyone that joined the webinar. And we will also be sending out an email with a link for you to activate your 30-day free subscription. And with that, I will conclude the the webinar. I really appreciate everyone's attendance, and we really look forward to helping you and working with you on these next generation workflows. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.